Hello, I'm your dizzy dude, Adam Tilted. Thank you for stopping by. Today is a continuation of my segment, Getting to Know You. The premise behind this is to show that we all have more in common than we do in difference. I realized I have such a wide variety of friends that I would just start interviewing them. So you have a chance to get to know a bunch of different people like I have. Hopefully that will make the world a less scary place for everyone, because that's what drives things like prejudice, is fear. So we're gonna get to know Jennifer Sloan in just a moment, but first I have a favor. If you could please love this, share it, and comment, or at least one of those things, that would really help. If you really like this and you want more people to see it, then do me a favor, give it a share. That's the best. And a love. Finally, one last thing. If you do like the content that I'm providing and you want to help me make it better, I could really use your support. You can sponsor the show at patreon.com/AdamTilted. There's a link in the description. Right now, I am raising money to buy a new microphone because this is my Rock Band 2 microphone. This is something that broke, and I have it just like balanced on this tripod. So, one wrong move and it all goes down. So I just need a couple $100 to get the microphone that I need. I'm going to bring Jennifer on here because I don't want her to feel left out. Jennifer, how you doing?
Great, Adam. How are you? I don't feel left out. I'm enjoying your show the way it is right now.
Oh, great, excellent. You are a little off center. There you go. That's better.
Okay. I am a little off center.
Well, yeah. Well, I can't do anything about that. I do have some advice, but we'll take that. We'll take that offline.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So Bren likes the red. Yeah, I have a thing for red. You do too, don't you, Jennifer? Yeah,
I do.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, I have a thing for red. I love red. I've got my red phone back there. I've got my red apple cookie jar that I've had forever since I was a kid. Jennifer, who are you, and what do you do?
Hi. Well, thank you for having me, Adam. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show. I'm Jennifer Sloan. I do a variety of things. In a former life, I was a CPA, and I don't tell anybody that anymore because I don't want to do accounting for anyone. I shun that. But I'm here to tell you CPAs are not boring. Even my own children are like, oh my gosh, they're so boring. Then I have 4 children that I raised, and they're all pretty much older. My youngest is in college this year, so I'm an empty nester. And I'm kind of starting the Fearless Gray movement, which is a movement to encourage people in the second half of their life to live an engaged, passionate life that's healthy. So engaging, I'm really big on creating community. When my kids were growing up, I was really involved in, the school activities that created community. I do love red. I wear red shoes every day. Starting in 2017, I started wearing red shoes every day to remind myself to be fearless. So every day you put on your red shoes and get out there, be fearless. And I kept doing it because, to be honest, it's super easy to get dressed. If it doesn't match red, you're not putting it on. And the last thing is, at Fearless Gray, the gray came because I've been divorced the whole entire week. But I found out 2 years ago when I started looking into divorce after 50 that it's called a gray divorce, which I thought was the absolute worst term. So I decided to kind of own it. So that's why it's called Fearless Gray.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I have to ask about your red phone. Does it work?
It used to work.
It's like the bat phone or something.
I know. I love it. It used to work, but it'll receive calls now, but you can't make calls. Something happened with the thing and it won't push the button. I've got some questions for you, Jennifer, just to help us get to know you. And then you'll have an opportunity at the end to tell us about how people can connect with you, follow up with you. Bren says, hey.
Hey, Bren.
Oh, thanks, Bren. She's also encouraging people, get that boy a new phone. Please support the show. Yes, thank you. I
did love your comment about that it used to be the Rock Band microphone, because I had this great visual of you doing the Rock Band.
Oh, wow. Oh, I killed it. I killed me some Rock Band. I was so into it. All the parts, singing, the guitar, the drums were hard for me because I'm not that coordinated. But I love to sing. I wish I was better at it. But enough
I
about
hate
me. Enough about me. Okay. All right, here we go. Interview questions. Question number 1. Would you rather be an insect or a reptile?
Oh, an insect. I hate reptiles. I can't think of many reptiles that I like. And insects, okay, so they can fly generally, which I would think would be cool. Granted, they can be annoying, but you can kind of swat them away, which is probably like me. My kids would for sure say that. I think insects, well, our reptiles, no, they can be cold weather, right? I wouldn't mind being a warm weather being living in Wisconsin right now, especially. So I would say insects.
Okay. What is your least favorite chore around the house?
Least favorite chore. Oh, this is embarrassing to admit because it's such a standard thing, but I really don't like cooking. And it's terrible. I have 4 children. I know. It's terrible. I have 4 children, and they've all survived adulthood, and none of them are malnourished.
Cooking is a pain. It's a lot of work. There are ways.
Well, the problem is differently. And one of my daughters has type 1, so she doesn't, she ate differently. And then
I have friends and family members that have children that can't eat this and can't eat that. It's hard. Or the mom can't eat something, but she's cooking it for the rest of the family.
It's just different. And then my kids were really into activities, and so always over the dinner hour we were running to this or that, and I lost my cooking skills. It's embarrassing. So that's my least favorite chore. Don't tell anybody.
Okay, that's fine. We have some comments. Bren says, I could see Jennifer Sloan as a ladybug, even though they eat aphids, which is kind of gross. But that's a good bug in the garden that is red.
Thanks, Bren.
Brent also says, cooking is super fun. You just need the right tools and fresh, fun ingredients.
I know.
I can agree with that. I just got an Instant Pot. That thing is amazing. Oh, my gosh.
People are obsessed with them. When they get them
because it's amazing. Really? I can take a roast from frozen and cook it in about 45 minutes.
Really?
And it tastes like it's been slow cooking for 10 hours. It's so good.
I might have to get that.
It's amazing. Okay, next question. What inspires you?
What inspires me? Well, I guess 2 things. One, I think everything that I ever do in my life, I try to be the best example to my kids and try to be the best mom that I can. I don't even know if I'd like it or if I'd be any good at it. And then as soon as one is born, it's you just try to be the best. So I feel that's what inspires me to be a better person is trying to be a good mom and what my kids think. The second thing that inspires me is community. I really think creating community and bringing people together. And I didn't really realize it until when I look back in the things that I got involved in. And even now, I think I always see opportunities to bring people together.
That's one of the first things that I noticed about you, actually.
Really?
By the way, Jennifer and I met, was it on Snapchat or was it on Instagram?
It was Snapchat.
We met on Snapchat, but now...
Bedhead by Adam.
Bedhead, right. Yeah, which still happens.
I think you make a really good point. That's what I'm really finding about social media. I think it gets a really bad rap in a way. Some people think, oh, you're wasting your time. But I see these really great communities of people coming together. And I think if people are open to it, there's just so many great opportunities to...
Well, you can certainly find a lot of opportunities on social media to waste your time. That's true.
Yeah.
But that's not social media's fault. That's your fault.
Right.
Because, social media, I'm virtually homebound. I mean, I can leave the house. It's expensive because I can't drive myself. I have to hire someone to drive me around. Social media has allowed me to maintain a connection, build communities, new communities, and maintain the communities that I had. That I've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're really good at it too, though.
Thanks.
Creating community. I think that's really one of the things that you do really well too. I think you understand what people want and need to hear, and I think you understand people really well. Which is maybe you being a teacher. I think you understand.
I think that has a lot to do with it. Although sometimes I wonder if that's why I became a teacher.
Yeah.
I've always felt that's been something that I just had, my sixth sense or whatever. I think I grew up as the peacemaker in my family, so that probably is part of it. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to get along. I want everyone to understand that you're not all going to get your own way. And somehow I'm able to do that, and most of the time people don't get mad. Sometimes they do.
Where are you in the family order?
I'm the oldest of 5.
Me too. I knew it when you said that.
Yeah, I'm
You
the
want
oldest
everyone
of
to
5.
get along.
Yeah,
You want
because it's
everyone
just
to get
easier.
along.
Because gosh, then I'm gonna have to deal with it when.
The craft goes awry.
Right, exactly. Okay, next question. Are you organized?
Yes, I really am a pretty organized person. I think that's from my accounting background. But I guess it's an interesting question. Like not everywhere in my life I'm organized, but I think the important things of getting structure and things done, I'm super organized. Now if you go into my refrigerator, is that really organized? No. So I have my places, but I can really organize something really well.
Okay, cool. Next question. You can have a superpower, but only for 24 hours. Which would you pick?
That's a good question. For 24 hours. My go-to one is always I'd like to fly.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know if that's a good enough superpower. I think I have to go with fly. I think it would just be amazing to or transport. Transport yourself to wherever in the world, see whatever you wanted to do. And you could probably see a lot in 24 hours, so that's it.
Yeah, especially if you could just instantly appear somewhere else. Bren wonders, what do you like about flying? Maybe you need to get a drone. I would love to get a drone.
Do you have to get a pilot's license?
I don't know, and it's different everywhere. And I live in Texas where things are just assumed to be strange. So I'm sure that you probably have to get a gun permit before you can get a drone. I don't know. It's who knows?
Yeah, really. It's before you own a dog, before you learn to drive, you gotta get a gun permit.
Exactly. Oh, Bren says, yes, you can fly drones from your backyard, but if you take it really high, you need to register it. Oh, that's good to know. Thanks, Bren.
You know what? Bren asked, why I wanted to fly, whatever. It's funny. It's always been a thing of mine. I wanted to be an astronaut. Now I'm not any kind of scientist like you, so it was never in my cards. And I remembered this a while ago, when I think I was 5 and man first landed on the moon. Was that 1969?
Yes.
And my dad took me outside and he pointed to the moon. He's like, oh, there's a man on the moon. And I think ever since then, I just have an obsession with this guy and I wanted to be an astronaut. And then before I had kids, I would have been any kind of daredevil. I would have went parasailing. I would have went hang gliding. And so it's always just been in me, and I've done none of it. It's ridiculous. I am going to go skydiving, though, sometime.
I've wanted to hang glide.
Yeah.
That's been my thing. But you see, now I don't know. I think that would destroy me because of my balance disorder.
Well, can they do those, parallel for skygliding?
Yeah. But I just think seeing the earth move underneath me, I think I would just lose it.
Watch out below.
Bren says, you guys are great. Awesome show. Great to start my morning with you both. Thank you, Bren. And I really appreciate you stopping by. It's nice to see you in the morning, Bren, as well. Next question. You can learn the answer to one mystery. What mystery would you pick?
Okay, this ties into my we were just talking about my science and my space. I'd like to understand the mystery of space not ending. And it's not some box that this is space, it never ends. I don't understand. That is a mystery I'd like to understand. Do you have an anser for me, Adam?
No. And if you find out, let me know.
I know.
Yeah.
To me,
okay.
That's just mind blowing.
It is. I don't know that our brains are capable of comprehending that because it makes no sense to me. And I've thought about it a lot.
Yeah. Well, if you figure it out, tell me.
Yeah. Okay. So, what would you do with $1 million?
What would I do with $1 million? This is what I'd like to do. I'd like to start a travel fund for me and my family, so we could travel these places since I won't be teleporting there. And I guess my goal, if I do the things I want with Fearless Grain, that is I wanted to, so for type 1 diabetes, children in the third world, it's horrible, the care that they get because it's actually a very expensive disease. It's crazy. So I would like to find a way that I could bring better care to them in the third world. So if I had $1 million, I would take a decent amount of that and try to get that foundation going. But then, like I said, I would also do something for travel and maybe get a place in Colorado. Well, no, I wouldn't get a place in Colorado even with $1 million. But maybe I'd get a
$1 million doesn't go that far these days, does it? What about $10 million?
$10 million. Well, then I'm getting a place in Colorado, and I'm hiring some people to get my foundation going. And then, it's interesting. So, like I mentioned, I've got a divorce, and in the last 2 years, I've really learned the value of downsizing and like having less. And so like when I think about what would I do with money, I really don't think too much about things as much. It's weird. But then it leaves you like, oh, what do I need? And you realize you don't need a lot. Right?
Right.
And so I think it would be about travel and family, maybe setting up education for like my nieces and nephews and things like that. No, I'm not going to win the lottery because I don't have a very good answer. What would you do? Do you know? I know it's not called Learn About Adam, but I'm curious.
What would I do with $10 million?
Yeah.
I would buy a house. I would build a house that is wheelchair accessible.
Is your home now? Or like when you bought it, was no?
Well, when we bought the house, I wasn't using a wheelchair. That wasn't even a consideration. But you can't even houses are not built that way unless they're built that way on purpose. Now I can get around my house in the wheelchair, but it's tricky. Like I've scraped my knuckles more than once going through doorways, and sinks are too high and stuff. So that I would definitely do that. I would do a lot of outreach work for people with disabilities, particularly HIV. Mm-hmm. I think that's becoming a big problem again because people have thought, it's not a big deal anymore, and it is a big deal still. Mm-hmm. I would definitely hire some people to do stuff for me. Like I would hire a driver. Yeah. I would hire a cook, a chef.
Like a fitness person.
Yeah, I would need a personal assistant. I would hire someone to edit my videos.
Oh, yes. For sure. That's an immediate need, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
What else? I would hire a landscaper too,
yeah. I would probably just need, somebody to tend the house. A butler, I suppose.
We go from not needing much to needing people to take care of us.
I know. I'd give it all away. I would actually give a lot of it away because I just can't help but help people. So I would give
don't you honestly don't think like as you get older you do realize like I don't need a lot. Experiences matter more. And the experiences that happened in your life are the things you want to change for others. Like you were saying with HIV, and I feel like with type 1, sometimes you wonder if these things are put in your life. And I feel bad because like type 1 is not in my life. It's in my daughter's life. But, like to help others.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if we had $1 million, we don't need things. We need somebody to take care of us, take care of our causes.
Yeah. See, what I would use it for basically is to take care of all of the things that take away my time and energy from being able to do things like these broadcasts and, spread the message of acceptance and educate people about HIV and math and science. Oh my gosh, I've been...
Adam, it's funny, like when we met 2 years ago and you were doing Bedhead and I was talking to my dogs on Snapchat, who knew like it would take us to this point where we don't have enough time to like produce and edit and like grow the things we want to do.
I know. It's really fun. I mean, honestly, when I was a kid, this is not this exactly, but this was one of my dreams. I wanted to be an actor.
Did you?
And or have my own talk show, which is basically what I have. I have my own talk show. I love to educate. I've always been a teacher at heart, and I can do that on a like a humongous scale now. So it's really amazing, and I never would have thought this was possible. But
I know,
and it's only getting better. So it's a lot of fun. I really like it.
That's what I think. Like, so if you think where we were 2 years ago, and think like where we and others, because there's this community of others trying to grow movement through like live streaming and that. Like, it'll be great to see where we are in 2 years.
Yes. Oh, Jennifer. Okay, so we've gone a little bit over time, which doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother you. But I do want to give you a chance to let people know if they want to connect with you further. What's the best way for them to do that?
So they can follow me on Instagram. I've been doing more on Instagram, and my follow right now is, I'm going to change it, I think, is at fearlessgray_. The reason I'm changing that is because if I want that to be the movement, I don't want it to be about me. So I'm going to start using my name soon and make Fearless Gray more about a collaborative thing. So right now they'll find me at Fearless Gray, at fearlessgray_, on Twitter there too. Now on Snapchat, which I've only been using I've started using again, and I use that because I use the word flock because my little icon or whatever is flamingos, and I think flock is the perfect word because it'd be good, like we're flocking together right now.
Yeah.
We're flocking. Or it can be like my dogs are flocking crazy.
Yeah.
So on
It's like,
Snapchat,
oh,
I use the word
flock.
Yeah, flock. Don't flock with
Oh,
me.
flock. I am not in the flocking mood, okay?
I know. I can think of a million great T-shirts. So on Snapchat, I'm JenZoeller. And then on Facebook, so I'm doing on Bubbler Media, I do the Fearless Grey Live show. And if you search for Bubbler, BUBBLRMEDIA.
Wow, so you got a lot. You don't got a lot going on like me.
I know.
Your Fearless Grey show. Is that every day?
It is every day now. So on Mondays, I kind of do like flamingo lingo. Tuesdays, I have like a group of bowling friends. I'm going to try to get the bowling chicks together. Wednesday, I'm going to start doing what you're doing, actually, interviewing other people so people get to know, the community. Thursday, I do Fearless Chicks with one of my friends, and it's a really consistent. And then Fridays, it's adventure. I'm going to go ice skating pretty soon today.
Oh, cool. You're doing that today?
Yes. It's so cold here, too.
Good luck.
I haven't done it in 40 years.
Which state are you in?
Wisconsin, right by Canada. I know. We're in different borders.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Canadians are great, aren't they? Like they're generally
I love Canadians. Yeah.
I know.
I don't know how they live up there though, because I could not do it. I couldn't live where you live. I'm in Houston, by the way. I don't like the weather in Houston either. It just changes too rapidly.
Well, you had crazy weather this year. Okay, last question I'll ask you. So what would be your perfect state?
That's interesting you asked, because Scott and I were talking about that last night.
I hope you agree.
Well, we couldn't. We came up with several ideas for different reasons.
Like what?
Okay, well, for one thing is I want to move inland because...
You had enough of the coast.
Because whether anybody chooses to believe it or not, Houston's going to be underwater more than likely in 25 years because the sea level is going to rise and the whole coastline is going to be different. So I want to move inland so I don't have to deal with that. Okay. I like seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wisconsin.
Yeah, I know, but that's extreme cold. I was born in Utah, and my family's in Utah, and they have nice seasons there.
Really beautiful there, isn't it?
Oh,
Is that one of the places you'd go back or no?
We've talked about it. There are a lot of advantages, but the housing there is kind of expensive.
Oh.
I don't know.
My favorite would be Colorado. I do like some winter. I agree. The problem with Wisconsin is we have winter, spring is 2 weeks. Summer's amazing, fall's amazing, but it's the spring that we miss. And the other problem is I like winter, but we don't have a mountain here. If we had a mountain, Wisconsin would be amazing because you could go skiing and snowboarding and all that
right.
stuff. Because our summers are incredible. So I would pick Colorado or that kind of area.
Yeah, we talked about that because it was a long, long time ago, but I did go to Denver and really loved the whole feel of the city. I'd like to go back and visit it now, see what it's like now. But
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
Thank you so much for being on the show. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was fun. I appreciate it and I enjoyed it.
Great.
It's always good to talk to you.
Yes, and thank you for you guys out there for watching as well. I'm your Dizzy Dude, Adam Tilted. Support the show at patreon.com/Adam Tilted. Every bit helps, even $1. If every one of you that watch this gives $1, I can get my microphone. Until we meet again, don't be afraid to go outside the lines. Bye.
Bye, everyone.